I'd like to talk about VirtualU, a free program that edits picture and video images. And stick around for a while. You will see some eye and ear candy very soon. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and that's true, but a video is worth 10,000. This is not a tutorial. It's just a showcase of some of VirtualU's set of tools. Some of these tools have their own toolkits that contain more tools. No installation is needed with this application. The user-chosen folder where VirtualU and its program files reside is portable, and most importantly, VirtualU makes no connections whatsoever with the host computer other than to use memory like any other program. Zip, nada, none. No connections. VirtualU is a frame handler that is strongly oriented towards transparencies, scene-by-scene recording, color artwork, edge softening, and the creation of high-quality images with the lowest possible file size. A transparency is like the image you see now. The solid color background can be made transparent so that the foreground image can be placed on top of any background. VirtualU also makes interior transparencies like the one you see now, in which an interior area becomes invisible when the image is made transparent. Hey, Kitu, how are you doing? Listen, I need help with my phone. I can't seem to make it work right. I'll talk to you later, and thanks. Bye. Allow us to briefly show you one way to make a transparency and how VirtualU lifts a foreground image out of a picture or video and places it in front of a new background. Let's say that the guy in the picture you see now went out to his backyard, stretched a large colored sheet between two poles, and then sat down in front of that sheet. Like a blue or green screen used in the movies, we want to take a picture of him in front of the red sheet and then later make the sheet be transparent so that he can be placed in front of a background that is more exotic than his own backyard. However, there is one problem. The red background is not a perfect solid color because of shadows and variances, so it won't go transparent. To fix this problem, we would load the picture in VirtualU's outline page where we would remove the variances so that all the various tints of the red color become the same color, which will go transparent as you see now. If you look closely, you can see that a red tint still remains all around the man, so we would have to remove it. We would do this by using the de-edging tool to produce what you see now. The next step would be to place the picture of the man in front of a new background, as you can see, and then the last step would be to soften or blend the edges of the man into the new background. As you can see, the hard edges of the man's clothing are very noticeable and unattractive. After the edge softening, the edges now blend into the background in a more attractive way. Okay, let's show another way to lift a foreground image like a dice out of the picture, place it on top of a different background, and then soften its edges to the new background. The first step would be to isolate the foreground image of the dice, and again we would use the outline page. In this case, we would draw a colored line around the dice as shown. We draw a line and then position it like what is showing. We would position the line so that the existing edge softening is outside of it. We would continue around the dice until it is fully enclosed. The ends of each line snap together to make the process easier and faster. We are currently working on a new tool that will draw the line automatically instead of manually, but it is not ready yet. The next step would be to use one of the flood fill tools to fill in the area outside the blue line to what you see now. We next place the dice over a different background and then make it be transparent. We then soften the edges of the dice to the new background using both edging method 2 and method 4 to produce what you see now.